block my PowerPoint. Okay, you want me to go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome. Hopefully my audio doesn't keep going in and out. Please let me know. I have on the chat up, so if I start fading, please let me know and I'll try to mess around with some things. But my name is Sammy Maggio. I am with Wesley Family Services. I'm a parent and community educator, and I'm also the aggression replacement training coordinator for Westmoreland County. It's a really long title. I don't usually say it. It's a mouthful. But today I'm just going to go over what we do at Wesley Family Services in the parent-wise division. I'd definitely be lying to you if I could say everything that Wesley Family Services does. We are very large, and we've recently merged 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, but it's still pretty new. If anybody's ever gone through a merger, you can understand that it's a work in progress and it's a learning curve for sure. So I am just going to cover what we do, what I know we do, and if you have any questions, just let me know at the end, and I can always send some emails out and get some answers for the rest of what Wesley Family Services does. Okay, so to go back and talk about the merger a little bit, we were Family Services of Western PA and Wesley Spectrum, and we merged in July of 2017 to create Wesley Family Services. So you may be familiar with Wesley Spectrum and or Family Services of Western PA. I actually came from the Family Services of Western PA side, and so the Wesley Spectrum, I know they dealt a lot with autism and those on the spectrum, so I cannot really answer any of those questions, but I can always send out an email and get some more clarification if anybody needs it. So parent-wise, what we are a small little group here in Greensburg, South Greensburg, and I think for the whole duration since 1980, we've been in South Greensburg. I could be wrong on that though. So it used to be called Parent Anonymous, started in the 1980s, and it was just a volunteer board of directors, and it was really just to run support groups for parents. And we offered a 24-hour helpline, so if a parent was stressed or having trouble getting their child to go to sleep or having trouble with discipline or etc., they could call and just get walked through some steps to calm down and handle the situation. And it was really just for support. So they decided to get some grant funding. And with that grant funding and county funding, they were able to hire some parent educators, and they started teaching parenting classes in addition to the support groups. So in the early 2000s, it became parent-wise, and Y stood for wisdom, insight, support, and engagement, and we still continue that to this day. Because the board and staff thought Parents Anonymous had a stigma, it's why they changed the name. And eventually, the agency moved away from the support groups, and because they weren't well attended. And so they just started focusing on the parent education classes. In 2008, ParentWise became the program of Wesley Family Services, and the mission continued. Oh, it says my audio is fading out. Is it still fading out? Oh, I got some mixed answers there. I'm going to keep going. Just let me know if it gets worse. Okay, so parent-wise now, because of the merger and because we are so large of an agency now, parent-wise was always small, but it seems smaller now. There's only 4 staff currently on the parent-wise quote-unquote payroll, and I'm one of them. Shanna Orlick is another person, Shauna Starenko, and Ryan Britt. So if anybody knows those names from other programs that we do, that they work with us. And many of us wear different hats. So like I said, I have 2 different titles there, the parent and community educator and also the ART coordinator. So most of us are not just parent-wise, just parent education, but it really depends on how much grant funding we have. So if we, like right now, well, we were supposed to be pretty busy right now. We had a lot of grant funding coming in and a lot of classes scheduled. And now it's a little challenging. I'm sure everybody is going through that. So we were supposed to be super busy, and this was going to be a great time. So most of us would have been more on the full time of parent wise, but again, we wear different hats. Like I said, it's grant funded. We have had PCCD funding, CTF funding, and United Way funding, and then we're also contracted. So Westmoreland County Prison is one of our contractors, Westmoreland Drug and Alcohol, and Juvenile Probation, and the county court also. Okay, so our programs, this is a list of most of the programs that we do, and a lot of these are evidence-based or evidence-informed programs, so a lot of them have to have training involved. It's pretty expensive, so a lot of the times we will use grant funding in order to get trained in things, and then also when you go to get certified in these programs, it costs money, and usually we use a grant to fund that as well. And yeah, and supplies and things like that all come from the grant funding. So we have Incredible Years. I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of Incredible Years. It is one of my absolute favorite programs in the world. It is, I could spend the whole hour I have to talk to you guys just about Incredible Years, but I won't. I'll keep it short. Strength in Families program is a big one around the nation here, and it is pretty expensive to get trained in. Luckily, WEDAC has a grant that allowed us to get trained in January, I think that was January or December, maybe it's December. And so we're recently trained in strengthening families, and we haven't yet been able to implement a program. We were going to start the week all of this happened, really. We were going to start on Tuesday night, and then schools were canceled, and we were going to be in school, so that didn't work out. We're still trying to work out the kinks there. So strengthening families is new to us. Act Raising Safe Kids is evidence informed. Parent Café, parenting from the inside, inside out dad, and children hurt and lost in divorce. And then we have some programs for teens and children that we do also, and that is done in a small group, Be Kind, aggression replacement training, and coaching boys into men. Okay. Hold on, I'm reading Sarah's. Could move your face to the right. Is it working? Oh. Yes, she said that's better. Okay, I'm going to stay here. Hopefully that works. Okay, so Incredible Years. Like I said, I could spend the whole hour I have to talk to you guys about Incredible Years. It's incredible. Incredible Years this is the top part here is exactly what they have on their website. So Incredible Years is a series of interlocking evidence-based programs for parents, children, and teachers supported over 30 years of research. The goal is to prevent and treat young children's behavior problems and promote their social, emotional, and academic competence. The programs are used worldwide in schools and mental health centers and have been shown to work across cultures and socioeconomic groups. So this program is worldwide. On the next slide, I'll show you a diagram they have of different trainees in all over the world, all the countries. And Incredible Years has grown and grown and grown. We use the preschool basic parenting program. We've also done the infant, and we've also done school age, but the basic parenting program is more widespread. It covers the basics. If you use this program, you can relate it to other age kids. So this is why we use this one. If you go on their website, their website is incredibly challenging to navigate. At least I feel that way. So if you take time, if you're bored, you can try to navigate it, and you can see the different programs that they offer. There's a ton. And they come with a set of DVDs and a curriculum. The curriculum is like this thick, and different sections and different lessons to do, outlines, etc. So the preschool basic parenting program is 18 weeks long, and it is for kids 3 to 8. but there's wiggle room in that. Like I said, the basic parenting program can really be used as an umbrella to serve different kinds of kids. So we've had people pregnant with their first child do it. We've had people with teenagers do it. And a lot of the concepts we talk about can, again, be related. So there's 2-hour sessions. So normally we meet from 6 to 8 p.m. We found that that's good for parents. It's after work, after the kids have eaten, and then right before bedtime. We do provide a meal at 5:30. And to go into the rapport part, it's one way that we build rapport. So we try to eliminate any barriers that a parent may have to do these classes. So not having to worry about hurrying up and getting dinner ready. We provide that for you, you and your family and your co-parent or your significant other or a support person. And that could be like a sister, a friend, a grandparent, etc. So dinner is provided, and we also provide a gas card. So if a parent has troubles getting there, or if they have to use a bus pass, we can provide a bus pass, things like that. We try to eliminate all barriers, so when they come, it's a stress-free experience. Back to the basic parenting program. So it uses vignettes. So we have little videos. It comes with a set of DVDs, and the program is really discussion based, and then we show some videos like vignettes, and that'll be parents on a screen doing what we're telling parents not to do, and then some parents showing what you should do. So you see how the child responds in both scenarios, and you see which strategies work. And you see it, and then we practice it in the group setting. So basic parenting covers the basics on how to play with your child, which a lot of people think, well, why do I need to learn how to play with my child? Because there is a right and wrong way. And a lot of people don't realize that. So we cover that. And then we even go into positive discipline. So there's a wide range of topics. Last week, we covered commands. So we talked about how many commands we give a child in a 30-minute period, which is a lot. And then we talk about why you may not be being successful when you're giving commands. And so, for example, let's clean up the toys. If you say, let's clean up the toys, that implies that you're going to help them. So if you really want your child to clean up the toys and you say, let's clean up the toys, there might be a mixed message there. Also, my parents are so guilty of this. Why don't you clean up your toys? Well, because I don't want to clean up my toys. Like, I'm not done playing. So it just talks about different ways you can reword things. And that was just an example of what we did last week. But that was a 2-hour conversation just about commands. And we practiced how to give commands and how to restate commands. Again, we are grant funded, and that allows us to provide the meals, the gas cards, and even a childcare stipend. In the perfect world, we would provide childcare on site, but it's hard to do sometimes. It means you're relying on another person. It can be challenging with clearances and whether the parent feels comfortable with the person. So over the years, we found it easier just to provide a stipend of $10 each session. And the gas card is also $10 a session. And then the meal, we usually try to spend $5 a person. So we'll get pizza, we'll get pasta catered, we can get Chick-fil-A is a huge one that we do, Chinese food, etc. So oftentimes for incredible years, we partner with schools, agencies, and churches. And we try to, partner with somebody in the community to just create a better bond. We don't always hold it at our agency. We did have a group last quarter here at our agency. But if we do have the opportunity, we like to partner with someone. And we do have 2 certified trainers and 4 trained staff. I am on my way to get technically certified. I've been lazy doing it, to be honest. I've been up for my certification for a while, but certification is a long process. So you have to record yourself in the group doing the 2-hour session. and then you have to get it peer reviewed, and then you have to send it in to the people who made the program, and they basically write a whole paper about what you did right and what you did wrong and what you can improve on. And I think I've just been avoiding it, but it's one of my goals this year to finally complete my certification. Is there any questions about incredible years? That's very, very, very brief. So I just wanted to open that up to any questions that you may have. I wish I could know if someone was typing.
There is a question, Sam, and
Oh, okay.
the
Is it in the Q&A? I'm sorry, I had the chat. Will there be an electronic version of this PowerPoint? Yeah. I can send that to you, Jolie.
Okay, and then we'll send that out with the certificates.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay. So incredible years. One other thing I'll mention is oftentimes used in the court system for those who need to complete a parenting class. And so a lot of times we'll get people that are changing their custody order or something like that, that they're recommended to take parenting class, and this is what they use to fulfill that. But just as often, we just have people that, you know, have a child that is strong-willed and they're having trouble disciplining, or they don't know how to discipline, or they are just a new mom and or a new dad and they're expecting a child and they just want to know all they can. And this is a course that they can take. So it's not just court ordered and it's not just curious folks. So it's a mixture of the two. And one amazing thing about Incredible Years is it really does create a bond with all the parents. And so on top of parent engagement and just knowing how to engage with your child, you learn how to engage each other. So a lot of parents are afraid to ask for help or afraid to, you know, vent about their frustrations of raising a child or having a little one. So it really creates this family almost. Just now, we are doing a Latrobe group through Westmoreland Drug and Alcohol. They are funding it for us, and we have just an amazing group. Just yesterday, we had a participant email everybody and say, hey, if anybody has like a squeaky window or a leaking faucet or a toilet and you need help, I will be free of charge and I will come over. So it really, really just creates this bond that a lot of parents don't have naturally. So it's just fantastic. I'll stop talking now though, because I could go on and on and on. There's a question up here, I think. Do you have a lot of friends? Yes, great question. Absolutely. So, over the last 2 to 3 years, we've had an up in grandparents. So anybody who is a family. So if your family is two friends, you know, co-parent, trying to parent together, they're living together, or we've had people who they're no longer together, but they're trying to work together. So two co-parents trying to raise a child. We've had a grandparent and a mom. We've had a dad and a grandfather. So yes, this is very widespread. Anybody who is a caretaker of a child can participate. Good question. Okay, I'm gonna get the Q&A on the side. Okay, so this is the screen that I was talking about. So it is all over the world. These are the group leaders trained in all parent programs. So you can see there's like Norway and Ireland, Denmark, Canada, and England is the most, and then you have the United States over here. All right, the next program I'm going to talk about is Strengthening Families Program 1014. Oh, there's another Q&A. Oh, is there a cost for parents to engage in IY if they are court ordered? What would the out-of-pocket cost? No out-of-pocket, not out of, oh gosh, I can't talk. There's no out-of-pocket cost. So it's all grant funded. It's completely free. We actually pay you. So we give you a gas card and we give you a free meal and we give you a $10 child stipend. So you can get $180 worth of gas cards and $180 in cash if you need childcare. So that is all because we are grant funded and it's zero cost. We've never not had grant funding. We've never tried to do an out of cost program. I think it would be very, very, very expensive if we did, just because our time and our travel and how long the program is. And I don't know if a lot of parents could swing it. It would be pretty pricey. So yeah, we are grant funded and everything is free. Any other questions before I move on? I don't want to move on too fast. Okay, I'll keep that up though. Just let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, so Strengthening Families program, again, is something new that we are trained in. We haven't actually been able to implement it. We were going to start implementing it about a month ago when all of the schools closed. So unfortunate, but hopefully we get the chance soon to try it out. So on their website, it says the Strengthening Families program for parents and youth 10 to 14 has made a difference in thousands of families in all 50 states and in over 25 countries. Parents want to protect their children, but it's challenging. Youth need skills to help them resist the peer pressure that leads to risky behaviors. Research shows that protective parenting improves family relationships and decreases the level of family conflict, contributing to lower levels of substance use. So Strengthening Families program is for both teens and parents. So something different from Incredible Years is that Incredible Years is just a whole bunch of parents sitting in a circle conversating. Strengthening Families is both the teen, 10 to 14, and the adult, and whoever the adults in the family may be. So that, again, could be not your standard mom and dad. It could be mom and grandma or aunt and uncle, whoever has the children in their care. And so the Strengthening Families is 1 hour of the parents doing their program, 1 hour of the teens doing their program, and then at the last hour, they come together and they have a conversation there. Oh, sorry, I got told me that there was a Q&A, but there wasn't. And it is proven to reduce the use of substance use in teens. And that is a big selling factor for when we are talking to families about engaging in this group and also partnering with the school. So our intent was to be at Valley High School. We do a lot with Valley High School. A lot of our grants are geared towards the New Kensington area. And so Valley has been gracious and has done everything we've asked them to do. We have a great relationship with that school. And so we were going to use their space and their kids and families to do the Strengthening Families program. It's usually about 7 to 10 families. And so that could be 7 to 14 adults and however many kids. So if the parent has a 10 and a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, all three of them would participate. Any child that is 10 to 14, and there's a little bit of wiggle room there. They told us not to go crazy, but there is a little bit of wiggle room. I keep getting notified that it's in the chat. There are people doing Strengthening Families online. Yeah, so I participated in that meeting, and the Strengthening Families, they told us that if they were in week 5 or 6, so again, I don't think I mentioned this yet, Strengthening Families is a 7-week program. So if you were in week 5 or 6, they would recommend you keep doing it online. But since we had not even met the parents or the children that were going to participate, and we have to do paperwork and stuff, that it wasn't in the we shouldn't start yet, is what the person in Strengthening Families World said. So we're intending on starting like a support group to just get parents talking to one another, and then hopefully when all of this is cleared up, we can go on and go back to the school and hopefully do our class. Strengthening Families is also grant funded. Again, this is new to us, so I'm not sure if anybody has tried to run this group without grant funding. I can always let you know in the future. We also provide a meal. So a meal is huge for this program. It generates, family time. Family meals are just so important in any household. And so we try to foster that in the program. We also provide a gas card to relieve any stressors of getting to the program and childcare for those who have younger kids and a child in 10 to 14. So if you have a 3-year-old and a 12-year-old, the 3-year-old would not be able to participate. So you'd have to find childcare. And so we provide a childcare stipend. And then the supplies. The supplies for strengthening families is there's a lot of supplies. My Amazon order was a couple $100, I think. So, and because they're every session, every parent session and every child session, and then the parent and child session, they have activities to do. Like the first week is a poster, like what you wanted to do when you were a child as the parent. And then the child or the teen then creates a poster of what they want to do, what they strive for right now. And so you have to buy magazines, you have to buy poster board. There's a whole bunch of different supplies. There's a whole list. So um, definitely the grant funding helps. Are the programs only in one location? So good question. It depends on the grant we have, because if you've ever worked with grants, they recommend an area that you serve. So if the program is geared or the grant is geared towards New Kensington, then we have to hold the group in New Kensington. If the group is Westmoreland County or Allegheny County, we have to stay in that county. So it really depends on what grant funding we have. We like to always do some in Greensburg. Finding Greensburg funding is challenging though, because we're not considered underserved. But we have a lot of interest. We have a lot of parents always calling, when is your next parenting class in Greensburg? And we really have to figure that out with the grant. So it's kind of out of our control. We go where the grant makes us go. For strengthening families, we have 5 certified, or no, that shouldn't say trainers. We're not certified trainers. We have 5 trained people in strengthening families. Are there any questions about strengthening families? This one up here. Okay, so one other thing I will say is that the Strengthening Families program, even if the class is in New Kensington, if you were in Greensburg and really wanted to do this program, you could, if you could drive to New Kensington, that is allowed. You don't always have to live in the zip code, but again, that depends on our grant. There is some wiggle room there, but if you can travel and you can come to us, fantastic. We have something in our Litchfield group that comes all the way from Denora just because they wanted to do the program, so we allow that. Okay, so Act Raising Safe Kids is another one of our programs. It is evidence informed, and it's a program through the APA, American Psychological Association, and it is 9 weeks long. It is a 2-hour group as well. It targets kids birth to 10, and it covers topics such as understanding development, self-regulation for everybody involved, kids, parents, and positive discipline is huge. It's always one that a lot of these programs do hit on, and Act Raising Safe Kids does a great job. And violence in the community and also the media. So that is something that Incredible Years doesn't necessarily, it touches on it, but it doesn't go in depth. It's kind of sprinkled throughout, and it's implied, to watch your media consumption and limit media consumption. And but it doesn't really take a whole session and discuss it, whereas Act Raising Safe Kids does do that. And our coworker, Shanna Orlick, is a master trainer in Act Raising Safe Kids, which means she travels and trains other people in the program. So I'm not sure when she obtained that status. It was way before I got here in 2017. So yeah, she can be hired to train staff. So that's one great thing about this program. So if you are an agency that, Act Raising Safe Kids, that'd be great. We have a lot of parents that could use that. You can have us come in and implement the program for you, or you can pay a fee and have Shanna train your staff so your staff can implement the program. In the future, send the Sonora folks our way. We serve Washington. Who is that? Jessica Anderson, what agency do you work for?
Jessica works for the Menneson Family Center, SBHS Menneson Family Center. They do strengthening families as well.
Oh, okay. The Denora person I was talking about is for Incredible Years. So do you guys also do?
Oh, they do Incredible Years. I'm sorry. They do Incredible Years as well.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we knew that. Awesome. So this is great. I had no clue.
Sorry, Jessica.
Yep. All right. So Act Raising Safe Kids is not something that we are grant funded for at the moment, and we haven't been for quite some time, but it's something that can also be used to serve those people who are court ordered and need a parenting class. So last summer, I think Shanna did run an Act Raising Safe Kids program, and it was $100 per participant, and they came 9 times, or maybe she shortened it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is something that we're not grant funded for, and it would come as a cost. And it depends, I believe, the cost on how many people, how many supplies, things like that. So if you were interested in Act Raising Safe Kids, you can contact Shanna, and she would be the best person. And at the end, I have a whole contact list of who does what and how to call them and contact. Any questions on Act Raising Safe Kids? Okay. This is something that we offer in the Greensburg office and also can travel for. So it can really be anywhere. Okay, so Parent Café is another program that we are trained in. They are physically and emotionally safe spaces where parents and caregivers talk about the challenges and victories of raising a family. So the Parent Cafe is less structured than the other parenting programs that are evidence-based. So this is really parents coming together. It's more of a support group, but it's also, what is the right word I want to say? It is semi-structured. So it does have a set of cards that generate a conversation that we use to discuss the challenges and victories. And this is through the Center for Schools and Communities. It's 3 sessions for 2 hours. We often meet in like a cafe. I think the last time we did this, we did it here in Greensburg, and it was just like a restaurant. We rented a room in a restaurant, and we did it that way. Everybody ordered food, and we just had a conversation. Again, it's a series of cards that generate a structured discussion that uses principles of adult learning and family support. And we have 2 trained staff currently in this program. And so if this is something you would like, if you need something less structured for your parents and you just think that they need support, this would be a great one. So Parenting from the Inside and Inside Out Dad are 2 of the programs that we use in the Westmoreland County Prison. So we are contracted through the Westmoreland Prison. Parents need to complete our program before they're able to have contact visits with their children. So it's something that we offer once a month, and it is for Tuesdays and Fridays. We go in for an hour and a half, and the females do one program, and the females do the Parenting from Inside, and the males do the Inside Out Dad. And they are, so once a month they're offered, or I'm sorry, every other month they're offered. So women parenting can do, I'm making this up, but January, March, etc. And then the males would do the alternate months. And we're also contracted for emotion management in the Westmoreland County Prison for both the women and the men. And that is a program. Emotion management is something that we created in-house that we use. It's just pulled information, and it's not actually a program, like not an evidence-based curriculum like the Parenting from the Inside and Inside Out Dad. And the prison has really been a great what's the right word, avenue, I guess, for people. So most of the time in the prison, they're not, in the Westmoreland County prison, they're not there for, oh, I accidentally clicked, sorry. They're not there for long term. So they're there to complete a parenting program or some sort of counseling, and then they are released. So sometimes we have parents, that we've met in the prison, and then they also do our other groups. So we've had people come do our IY group when they've gotten out. We've had people do our DINA, or they want their kids in the DINA program. So it's really a great just continue that support when they are no longer in there. So, and a lot of the times we have pretty great participation in the prison. It's a great experience. I'm not one who goes in. I'm not full time in the prison. I'm like the backup person if Shanna needs a vacation and she decides to take off for a week, and I'll go in, and I'm like the backup person. But I love it. It's fantastic, and we have great conversations through these programs. Any questions for that one? I believe Inside Out Dad is something that we can use on the outside as well. Or we have another program that's centered for dads that we've used in the past. I don't have it highlighted here because a lot of the other programs we would, they're for men and women, so they can be used. But there is one geared towards dads. Are these programs in Allegheny County and Allegheny Court Jail System? So Allegheny County has their own set of programs. I can definitely mark this down to get you an answer of that if these particular programs are in the Allegheny Jail. I made a note, so I will get, and this is Anne. I will get that answered for you, Anne. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know Wesley Family Services is contracted through Allegheny County Jail as well, but I'm just not sure if we use these specific programs there. But I can get that answered. Okay. Someone said, oh, Rose Ann. Okay. I will get that answered for you as well. Okay. All right, so child hurt and loss and divorce is another program that we kind of created in-house, and it is used in Westmoreland County courts. I'm not sure of Allegheny County. I would think not, because, yeah, I don't think that would work there. They might use something else. I feel like I've worked in the courthouse in Allegheny County for my aggression replacement training program, and I feel like they have another program they use instead of CH.I.L.D. Can get that answered at a later date also, though. So CH.I.L.D stands for Children Hurt in Loss and Divorce, and it's referred by the courts. So if you go into the courts looking to change your custody agreement, they will have you take this course. It's recommended. So it's a one-time 4-hour workshop, and the cost is $50 per person. Each co-parent takes this class, but they don't take it together. They take it separately. It's offered twice a month on a Monday from 5 to 9 p.m. and a Saturday morning from 9 to 1. And it's a really, really great program. It really just talks about how to navigate divorce and how to, protect your child or children from any negative effects a divorce can have. So it talks about communication. It talks about when to talk about things, what is your concern and what shouldn't be your concern with the other co-parent. We use the word co-parent a lot because a lot of times people, oh, that's my ex, or that's my baby mama, or my parents or my child's dad, and they don't use the word co-parent. And so that's something that the program stresses. Because if you go up to a stranger and you're introducing themselves or you're introducing to a person and you say, oh, that's my co-parent, people understand that. But if you say, oh, that's my ex, then there's like a negative connotation to it. So it discusses things like that. It discusses things like, so I'm going to my mom's house this week and I'm going to my dad's house this next week. How to use that in a conversation. So I'm going to my house with my mom, or I'm going to my house with my dad. So just simple little terms that you can use to generate a conversation. Do you report back to the courts? So yes, in a way. We don't necessarily report back of how the parent acted in the class or responded. They do get a certificate, and oftentimes if the parent needs a letter, then we can write a letter to the court saying that they've completed this program, etc. But they do get a certificate, and we do send that to the court system. This is also a program, so fun fact about me, my parents are raising my niece, so grandparents raising a child. And they were going through, a hard time with my sister. And I told them, I was like, you guys should just take the child class. Like, they weren't recommended, they weren't told to take the child class, but I told them that it would be good, learning how to communicate and learning how to navigate this process. And so you don't necessarily have to be court ordered to take child. If you are in the situation and you think it could benefit you, you can pay $50 and join the class. But I'd say 95% of the time it's just people who are in, got the letter that they said they had to take the class. Any more questions? Any questions about that one? Okie dokie. Okay, so now on to the kids programs and teen programs. So DINA Small Group is one of the Incredible Years programs. So they have DINA Classroom, they have DINA that stands on its own, but the DINA Small Group is the program that we use. And again, it can stand alone or in the classroom, but it works best when it's coupled with an IY group. So we have parents in, doing the IY class. And then next door, we have the DINA small group that the kids, 6 to 8, usually 6 kids, are in the classroom and they're working on their things. So instead of playing, okay, sorry. I don't know who that was. Anyhow, we have 6 kids, so instead of paying for the childcare, instead of having that stipend for childcare provided, we have the kids doing DINA. And this isn't in all the cases. It depends on the funding source again, if they want DINA coupled with IY. You can do DINA on its own and you can do IY on its own. But when you have the parents in the program that are there for their 5-year-old who's really giving them a hard time, and you have that 5-year-old next door learning the same concepts, that those two are going to have better success than if you just have the child on its own or the parent on its own. So the DINA small group is a dinosaur treatment curriculum, and DINA doesn't stand for anything. It's just DINA, just her name. She's down there. That's DINA. And it is for counselors, therapists, or special education teachers to treat children with conduct problems, ADHD, and internalizing problems. So they don't necessarily have to have a diagnosis to do the program, but those who do have a diagnosis, it has been proven to be effective. It is delivered in a 2-hour weekly small group session, so 6 children per group for 18 to 22 weeks. Since IY is 18 weeks long, well, technically IY is 15 weeks long, but we've extended it to 18 weeks because the DINA program is 18 weeks, so they coincide with each other. Ideally, it's offered in conjunction with the 2-hour weekly parenting program, and so it gives parents an opportunity to foster their children's learning in the dinosaur school and their interactions with them at home. So what the children are learning, the parents are learning also, and they can practice together. So DINA uses puppets. I wish I would have thought of bringing a puppet out, but I did not. So I'm a puppeteer. In my spare time, I've practiced a lot with Wally and Molly and Dinah. And you have their own little personalities and voices, and the kids just eat it up. We do have some kids that are like, oh, that's just a puppet, but it's very rare. And a lot of the times, by the end of the week, 18 weeks, they just want Dinah. They want to take Dinah home, and they love her. And we also use vignettes in the Dinah small group, so we do have a TV, and we do show little clips of children interacting and using the positive social skills. So we have kids sharing, and we have kids complimenting one another, and we have kids taking turns, and it shows the kids positively on the video, and then we practice it in the program. We also have activities involved. So this is one. I just have it hanging out here. This is their little solution kit. So if they're having a problem, they can hook this on their belt buckle, and they make these. And some solutions are apologizing, learning how to trade, saying please, waiting and taking turns, ignoring, and sharing. So that's one of the activities that we do with the kids. And then playtime is huge. We spend about 40 minutes of the 2 hours playing. So we have playtime in the beginning, and then we do a small group where we show the vignettes. Then we take a break, bathroom, snack. Then we go back to a second circle, and we show some more vignettes, and we practice. Then we do an activity like this, which is called small group activity. And then we play again. And in the times of play, you're coaching. And this goes back to the first week of IY when you're learning how to play. And learning how to play is using descriptive commenting, such as, oh, you are putting the red block on the green block. Oh, you're building that tall tower really tall. And, oh, you shared, even if they just like moved a piece that they weren't using. You shared, you make a big deal out of it. So playtime and coaching is the best part of DINA. They learn the most, I think, during playtime. And this is also something that is grant funded. It is we partner with some schools. So New Kensington School District is one that we partner with quite a few times to provide DINA. And we have 2 certified trainers and 3 other staff trained. This is another one that I'm on my way to get certified with. I just haven't sent in my video. And we were actually getting some good videos when we had to stop. We were in week, I think 11. Yes, week 11. I have my folder right there. When the school shut down. So I miss my kiddos a lot. And I actually sent little care packages to them last week with a letter from DINA and some different activities for them to do, coloring pages. And I sent a prepaid envelope in there so they could send their colored picture back, and I could write a message from DINA and just continue the conversation. And I haven't gotten any back yet, but fingers crossed, I hope I get to hear from them. Again, I could go on and on about DINA, but I know I'm running out of time here. Any questions about DINA? So what age is the DINA program geared towards? Okay, so the youngest we had was 4, but like a close 5. So almost 5. It depends again on the grant and the program they want us to serve. So, and DINA can also be used in the classroom. So the classroom age kids, so preschool, first grade, second grade, all the way up to 10. We've had as old as 10-year-olds participate. But I think the median range is what they're looking for is probably that 5 to 9 range. But with everything, there's a little bit of wiggle room. We hate to say no. We don't rarely say no to people. Any other questions about DINA? Okie dokie. Be Kind. So Be Kind is in its 25th year. I'm sure many of us have heard of Be Kind. Shanna does not like when I say this, but I remember Be Kind coming into my classroom. She absolutely hates when I mention that. but it's been around for a very long time. It's a literacy-based curriculum, and there are 6 different lessons and books to choose from. And the cost is $100 per classroom for 4 visits. So Shanna or some of her volunteers will go into a classroom 4 times, and it's $100 for all of those 4 times. And she's in the classroom for about 30 to 40 minutes. This program is often used to meet the anti-bullying requirements for the school. And the program is from preschool to 4th grade, but it doesn't have to be in a school. So if you're a learning center, if you're a library, if you're a Head Start, things like that, you can have Be Kind come to your classroom and work with your kiddos. It still costs $100. The 4th grade curriculum is a little different. It's not literacy based, and it's used for the eyesonbullying.gov program. The program serves about 2,500 kids per year, and it's volunteer based. Shanna is the only paid employee that does the Be Kind program. So everybody else are volunteers, retired school teachers, retired nurses, things like that are those usually who come and volunteer and do the program for Shanna. And Shanna's contact information is listed right there. And then at the end, I also have a contact information for everybody. Any questions there? I sat in a classroom with this program. It was great. Oh, great. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure if you had Shanna, but Shanna does a fantastic job with this program, and her volunteers are just the sweetest ladies in existence. They all do a great job. And the lessons are super fun. So again, they're with a book, but the book comes with an activity that the whole classroom does. And they get like a membership card that says they're part of the Be Kind Club. And it's just all around so great. What's great about this also is that there are 6 different lessons and you choose 4. So you can really customize what you want in your classroom and gear it towards what you think your kids would be interested in. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. Thanks for joining. Okay, so aggression replacement training is my program. It's my baby. It is a 10-week, 30-hour program, but there's flexibility with that. So you can hold it once a week for 3 hours. We've had that happen. You can have it twice a week for an hour and a half, or you can do it 3 times a week, an hour each. So that's really a great selling point when you're working with kids or organizations, or I'm sorry, schools or organizations, to be able to flex that and make it work for your school. We do this in Valley School District, and they do it twice a week for an hour and a half, and they alternate it. So we are there from 9 to 10:30 on Tuesdays, and then on Thursdays we are there from 12:45 to 2:15, if my math is right. So they're not missing the same classes, and that's really worked for them. But we've also had some middle schools do it from 8 to 9:30 in the morning, or 8:30 to 10 in the morning, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there's a lot of flexibility, and every school is different. This program targets kids 12 to 18. Again, there's a little bit of wiggle room there. I think that, I mean, I did not create this program, so I'm just going to speak freely. But when this program was created, I think, you did have your teenagers acting out, but this was a long time ago. And I think if we want to use this as a preventative measure, that we should be hitting like 10-year-olds, younger, maybe even younger, to start having this conversation and use it more preventatively. And in my experience, the middle school age range has been our most successful groups. We've had, high schoolers in Valley, that's both middle school and high schoolers. And at a time we were doing a middle school group and a high school group at the same time, different sessions, but at the same time, like month-wise. And the middle schoolers just have a better retention rate and they have better success in the program. So there's 3 sections of anger control. 3 sections of aggression replacement training. You have anger control, which really just discusses your anger control cycle. So everybody has it. Everybody goes through the motions. Whether you're a 2-year-old, a 12-year-old, 18-year-old, or 40-year-old, you go through the same motions. So that is a conversation about how your body responds when you are angry, triggered. Um, Skill streaming is the second hour, and it's all about replacing those negative skills that you've learned or negative actions with positive. So it's all about, and that'll be shown on the next screen as well. So it's different skills that you can use in a positive way to help control your anger. And then moral reasoning is my favorite, and it's little scenarios that we use, and we go over, and it really puts you in a tough situation. You're a character in a story and you have to make certain decisions, and it really does test your morals. A lot of times teenagers' morals are skewed. You know, they'll steal a car because they left the keys in it. That's stupid. So that's a skew in morals. So we gotta fix that, and the moral reasoning discussions really help that. It was originally designed for residential facilities, and the juvenile probation system here in Westmoreland County used it as a part of a requirement to get off of probation. In Allegheny County, every single person that is on probation has to do ART before they're off. And so we are a well-oiled machine in Allegheny County. I was, not anymore. We're not allowed to go to the courthouse. But we serve a lot of kiddos. It's on a rotation. Everybody goes through it. In Westmoreland County, it's a little different. If anger or aggression is one of their top 3 things on the YLS survey, they have to take ART. So not every single person has to go take aggression replacement training in Westmoreland County, but Allegheny County, they do. We had a PCCD grant that allowed us to make this more preventative, and that's when I was hired on. We used this. It was a free program. We were able to get into schools. I served about 100 kids in 7 different schools, and it was for preventative. These kids were not on probation. It was those kids that, you know, had something on their record that were like, I wanna get them something so they don't make more mistakes and they don't get on probation. And that's really where I see aggression replacement training going, is more preventative. It's hard to put a Band-Aid after they've already made the mistakes to put them in a position. So I would like to see this, you know, get before the fact. We have 3 staff trained in the model, and I am in the process of becoming a master trainer. So we were going, again, before all the corona stuff, I was going to be doing a new program in New Kensington, and I have to train some staff and record them and send it to the creator, and then I will be a master trainer. So I'm working on my way to that, and yeah, so if you want this program in your school, there is a fee for it now because the grant has ended, and it really just depends on how many kids that we're serving. And so we don't have a ballpark number right now on the top of my head, but if you're ever interested in getting this program, you can reach out to me and we can discuss that. Another thing, this is what Valley School District did. A lot of schools can get grants that agencies cannot. So if you're a school or if you work in a school and you want this program, you can get a grant that basically pays us to come do it. That's what Valley High School has done. They have a grant through PCCD, and that grant pays us to come into their school on a regular basis. We usually do a spring and a fall group with them. And if they have leftover money and if we had the availability, we could also do a summer program. So a lot of flexibility with this, and there's different ways to get it incorporated in your agency or school or program. So that is the anger control train. So this is something everybody goes through. Your external trigger is, you know, the event that made you angry. Your internal trigger is your negative thoughts about the situation that make you more angry. Cues are physical signs like your heart racing, your body getting tense or getting hot. Anger reducers. So something important about ART is that anger reducers, you're reducing your anger some way, somehow. When I am angry, I swear. That's the way I reduce my anger. Or if I'm angry, I shake my leg, and that's how, like, I just get my tension out. in the curriculum, we urge people to use these 3 because you can do them anywhere. Music is a great anger reducer, but if you're in class and you're getting yelled at for not paying attention and then you put your headphones on to reduce that anger, you're not going to get a positive result there. So these are some things that you can do anytime, anywhere to reduce your anger. And then you see reminders, positive self-talk, thinking ahead is something we encourage the kiddos to do, which is think of what your actions could lead to. And that's not always easy. You're not always doing that. Self-evaluation is, either coaching yourself or rewarding yourself on if you did a good or bad job. This chain takes 7 weeks to go through. We do 1 at a time. And then the 8, 9, and 10 weeks, we review and add some different things to shake things up. This is a list of the skills. So there's 48 skills, and we only have 10 weeks of the program. So we don't go through all 48. We pull this, so this is cool, that you pull things depending on your group. So if you have a group that's real good at listening, you don't have to do that skill. If you have a group that, we kind of already dealt with fear through a moral reason discussion, you don't necessarily have to do that skill card. So there's a lot of flexibility and preparation that goes into the groups and pulling things that you think the kids will gravitate towards. Any questions about ART? Making sure my Q&A here is good. Okay. So coaching boys into men is the last one I'm going to discuss, and this is something that is newer to us. Ryan Ritz is the contact person for this program, and this program is an evidence-based one that provides high school athletes and coaches the tools they need to address critical topics with their players. So it's all about dating and respect of women or partner, and what to do if a player witnesses harassment or sexual assault. And the cool thing about this is that it's coming from the coaches. So it's a 12-week, 12-card series, and each coach, during their practice will go over the card with their group. They'll sit them down in a group and discuss the card and have a conversation. This isn't a super hard curriculum to get involved with or do. It really is just coaches taking a couple minutes out of their practice to discuss some things. And what's great is because a lot of the times athletes are leaders in a school culture, and the coaches are like a second parent to these people. So to have a coach discuss this is a different feel than like a parent or a teacher discussing it at times. Coming from the coach is really what's important there. I have a question. Okay, are any of these programs available for out-of-county agencies? So what county, Tessa, are you in? I'm not sure what county you're in or referring to, but it really depends on the grant we have. So Coaching Boys into Men, again, is Westmoreland County grant. It's United Way. So I'm not sure that he's able to go out of the county for it to be funded. If an out-of-county agency has money and can pay for these programs, absolutely we can come do that. But most of the times it does depend on what grant we have and where they tell us to go and who to serve. So again, this program is grant funded through United Way right now. The current implementations are here, and schools who have completed the program. Something really awesome is Ryan Ritz was the offense coordinator, I think, for the Jeanette Jayhawks. So he had an in, and he did this program with all of his players, and he's now extended it to Hemphill. And something awesome about Jeanette is that they've incorporated this in their handbook. So every single athlete has to do this program. And that's really awesome that the school board took that initiative. Fayette. Coaching Boys is an all-county Western PA. Each county carries the program. Okay, awesome, Kristen. Yeah, I'm not the person who does this program, so I'm not sure. I just know that right now our grant is through United Way, and I believe it is just Westmoreland County. So I'm not sure how it works. Once you have the supplies and once the coaches know the program, there really shouldn't be a fee. But right now, our grant requires to, report information, do surveys, see how it's working. It's like a test. So there's different steps to take when we have a grant. But when we don't have a grant, maybe Kristen knows a little bit more about the program there and can answer those questions. I'm going to write down your name, Kristen. Maybe Ryan can get in contact with you. Okay, so probably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my time here at ParentWise was we participated in a research study. So the research study involved smart parents, safe and healthy kids. It was a project done through Penn State. Kate was there. She's a PhD. She was doing a research study on her program that she's hoping to get evidence-based status with. So she was testing to see if her program had any significant results, and then go up the chain of command to where she can sell it and do all this stuff. So we were really in the groundwork of this program. And what it is it's a program to prevent childhood sexual abuse, which is a huge, huge, huge thing to tackle. And we're so blessed to be able to be a part of the research study. So how it worked was that she used existing evidence-based parenting curriculums to implement this supplemental session. So it is one session. So if Incredible Years is 18 weeks long, week 17, we implemented this curriculum, which is, we just had a conversation using her outlines here. And so what we did is we surveyed the parents at the beginning of the parenting sessions, like week 1, with their opening paperwork. And then we surveyed them halfway through, and then we surveyed them at the end. And it really showed whether the study had any significant changes on beliefs of preventing sexual abuse and how to communicate with your child about sexual abuse. And it is an amazing program. I hope that she gets the status that she deserves because the program is fantastic. We've had amazing results. Every class that we've used it in, the parents, were nervous to talk about the subject, and it can be a little awkward at times. But after it, people were thrilled to know the steps you can take, and yeah, we had really fantastic results with it. I think she's in the process. I know her findings were significant, but she's in the process of writing the whole paper about it. So once that comes, I cannot wait to read it. The research study has concluded, but we are continuing to still use the curriculum. So every IY session that we do implement, week 17, we do use this program. So this is not standard. A lot of people don't have access to this yet, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share it. I could always ask. But we were trained in it by Kate herself, and yeah, it's a great program. I'm really grateful to be a part of the research study, and yeah. Okay, so last we have Ice Cream Blast, and it's our annual fundraiser. It'll be in our 25th year this year. It's supposed to be July 18th. Fingers crossed you can still have it. It's fun for the whole family. It's really our only fundraiser that we do to raise money just for the ParentWise program, and it's fun activities for the whole family. So kids and adults. We have food, we have cake, we have ice cream. We have different agencies around the county that sponsor an ice cream flavor, and that comes at a cost. And we have winners who pick the best ice cream. We have a vote who has the best ice cream, and everybody gets a plaque. And it's super fun, and we're really hoping that we can do it this year. And closer to, I can send an email to everybody with the save the date if it is still July 18th, and you can bring whoever you'd like. These are our contact information. Everybody that works with us here at ParentWise is listed there. And so this is a great resource to have, and I'll make sure you guys get that with your certificates. And that's really all I have. I mean, I could go in to talk about rapport. I mean, rapport is fantastic. I didn't really get to do that. Didn't realize it would take that long to go through all that. But rapport is fantastic. I think without rapport, we would not be having the success we are having with our online sessions. You know, having those meals with families, making small talk, getting to know them at a personal level, making them feel comfortable, you know, if they don't want to share, not pressuring them. And also, we don't do the talk down strategy. We talk equally. We never tell someone what they're doing is wrong. We just offer suggestions and ways to practice positive discipline. And that's something that I think we are truly successful at, is we build relationships with all of our participants. And because of that, we have great retention rates. And making the switch to in-person classes to the online class, we had perfect attendance last week, which is just unheard of. And I do credit that to, you know, everybody is excited to see each other. Every participant wanted to check in with the others. And just to build that community is really beautiful to see, and it makes it all worth it. Are there any other questions about anything that I talked about?
I'll just throw a plug in there for ParentWise. Or not ParentWise. Oh my gosh, the ice cream blast. Sorry, ParentWise. The ice cream blast is amazing, and it's so much fun to go to. My son loves to go every year. You get a little bit of ice cream, and you get to walk around. And we go and set up a table, and it's an excellent opportunity to reach parents, because we don't always get to reach parents. So it's always good. It's a good event for us. I'm hoping that you guys can still hold it this year.
I know, it's our 25th year. We're like, oh, so excited. It was such a,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hoping we get to do it. Julie is hoping as well. She's like, every time I ask her about it, she's like, I don't know. And we're hoping. It is great. So if you're an agency and you want to set up a table to, you know, market what you do, and you can offer an activity for a child, I'm not sure the cost of a table. Julie, do you know the cost of a table? What it was last year?
Is it like $50?
That sounds about right. I don't think it would be anything crazy. And then if you are an ice cream sponsor, then the price goes up. So there's different levels that you can do. Oh, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah,
You're so sweet.
this is awesome information. Sometimes Sam is a part of our coalition, CSA, and sometimes we all work together and we don't know all about everyone's program. So this was nice to learn about all of your programs, Sam. Thank you for sharing.
I'm so grateful to have the opportunity and share. ParentWise is so small, and not everybody knows what we do. A lot of times people think it's just for court-ordered parents or troubled kids, but it's really for everybody. Oh, you want me to bring the puppets to the luncheon? Okay, Michelle. I can do that. I'll bring DINA.
Perfect. Well, if anyone doesn't have any more questions for Sam, oh my God, Beth wants them too. Beth wants the puppets.
All right, I'll bring them.
Well, thank you everyone for participating. You will be receiving a certificate. Sam put together a nice resource flyer for you. And I think, we'll send out maybe the ice cream blast information as well, maybe?
Yeah, I can do that once we get it. I didn't have anything in writing because we're still not sure if we're doing it. So once we get that, I can definitely send that out. Are you able, Jolie, to get me Kristen and Ann Weaver's email and Rose Ann's email, just so I can get them that information?
Yep, I'll share their emails with you so we can get some more information for you guys.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.